Hi, good day. This is Miss LM and we're back again for another math video, and this is all about simplifying rational algebraic expressions part 1. So how are we going to simplify RAE? So simplify RAE means to write it in its lowest term. So kung sa fraction may lowest term, sa RAE meron din. So if B and C are non-zero integers or algebraic expressions and A is any integer or algebraic expression, then AC all over BC is equals to A over B. So, from the definition itself, B and C daw are non-zero integers. Bakit? Because ang B and C natin ang ating denominator. And kapag naging 0 ang denominator, again, ang RAE ay magiging undefined terms. And as you can see dito sa symbol natin, from AC all over BC, naging A over B. So, paano kaya natin yon gagawin? So, to simplify RAE with monomial numerators and denominators, the first step to do is to look for the greatest factor that are common to the numerator and denominator. So, kailangan ulit natin mahanap yung GCF. And then, we have to cancel out common factor. So, yung nahanap nating GCF, ika-cancel out natin sa numerator at sa denominator. Then, for step number 3, we have to write it in its simplified form. So, let's have example number 1. Okay, example number 1 is 48a cubed b to the 5th all over negative 12a squared b cubed. So, ano nga ba ang kanyang GCMF? Among 48 and 12, the greatest common factor is we have positive 12. And then a cubed and a squared, alin yung may least exponent, we have a squared. And then b to the 5th and b cubed, least exponent is b cubed. Now, for step number 2, we have to cancel out this GCMF in our numerator and our denominator. So, 48 divided by 12, the answer is 4. A cubed divided by a squared, the answer is a. B to the 5th divided by b cubed, the answer is b squared. And on our denominator, negative 12 divided by positive 12, the answer is negative 1. A squared divided by a squared, the answer is 1. B cubed divided by b cubed, the answer is 1. And then if we write it in its simplified form, we have here 4ab squared all over negative 1, or we have negative 4ab squared. So, ito po pala ang ating RAE na ito yung kanyang value or simplified form. Now, let's have example number 2. We have 125 m to the 5th and to the 7th power all over 20 m cubed and to the 9th power. So, what is the GCMF for our example number 2? Among the numerical coefficients 125 and 20, ang greatest common factor lang natin ay 5. Among the variables, we have m to the 5th and m cubed. Alin ang may least exponent? We have m cubed. And then n to the 7th and n to the 9th power, the GCMF is n to the 7th power. Now, we're going to cancel this out of our numerator and denominator. 125 divided by 5, we have 25. M to the 5th divided by m cubed, the answer is m squared. N to the 7th divided by n to the 7th, the answer is 1. All over 20 divided by 5, we have 4. M cubed divided by m cubed, we have 1. N to the 9th power divided by n to the 7th power, meron tayong n to the 2nd power. Now, if we rewrite this, so we have 25 m squared times 1, the answer is 25 m squared. All over 4 times 1 times n squared, the answer is 4n squared. So, this will be our final answer for our example number 2. So, for example number 3, we have here negative 121 a to the 11th power b all over 33 ab to the 11th power. So, what is the GCMF among the numerical coefficients? We have 121 and 33. So, the answer is 11. And then, a to the 11th power and a, alin ang GCMF dyan? Least exponent, we have a. And then, b and b to the 11th power, alin ang may least exponent? We have b. Now, we have to divide out this GCMF in our numerator and denominator. So, negative 121 divided by 11, the answer is negative 11. A to the 11th power divided by a, so subtract natin yung exponent, ito ay may invisible 1. So, 11 minus 1 is a to the 10th power. And then b divided by b, the answer is 1. all over 33 divided by 11, we have 3. A divided by A, we have 1. And then B to the 11th power divided by B, the answer is B to the 10th power. So if we rewrite this, we have negative 11 A to the 10th power times 1. We have negative 11 A to the 10th power. All over 3 times 1 times B to the 10th power, the answer is 3B to the 10th power. And now this will be our final answer for our example number 3. Okay, let's have example number 4. So we have here 98c to the 5th d cube all over 35c to the 5th d squared. So ano nga ba ang ating GCMF dito? So 98 and 35, the GCMF is 7. C to the 5th and C to the 5th, wala tayong list, wala rin tayong mas malaki, so C to the 5th na mismo. And then we have D cube and D squared, so least exponent ay D squared. So actually, pwede naman natin i-direct cancel dito sa ating mismong RAE. So 98 divided by 7, the answer is 14. And then C to the 5th divided by C to the 5th, the answer is 1. And then D cube divided by D squared, the answer is D. All over 35 divided by 7, we have 5. C to the 5th divided by C to the 5th, the answer is 1. And then D squared divided by D squared, the answer is 1 also. And then if we rewrite this as our final answer, we have 14 times 1 times D is 14D. All over 5 times 1 times 1, the answer is 5. Ayan po. So the final answer here is 14D all over 5. So let's have our final example in simplifying RAA with monomial numerators and denominators. So we have here negative 72 x to the 10th power y to the 7th power z all over negative 120 x to the 5th y to the 8th z cubed. So ano nga ba ang GCMF natin for this example? So mapapansin nyo, parehong may negative yan. So mainam na ilagay na natin yung negative sa GCMF. And then we have 72 and 120. Ano yung greatest number na pwede natin ipang-divide out sa kanilang dalawa? We have 24. And then x to the 10th, x to the 5th, alin yung may least exponent? We have x to the 5th power. Y to the 7th power, y to the 8th power, we have y to the 7th power. And then z and z cube, ang ating GCMF is z. So the GCMF is negative 24 x to the 5th, y to the 7th power, z. Now we have to cancel this out on our numerator and denominator. Negative 72 divided by negative 24. The answer is positive 3. X to the 10th power divided by x to the 5th power, we have x to the 5th power. Y to the 7th power divided by y to the 7th power, we have 1. And then z divided by z, the answer is 1. All over negative 120 divided by negative 24, the answer is 5. X to the 5th divided by x to the 5th, the answer is 1. Y to the 8th divided by y to the 7th power, we have y. And then z cubed divided by z, the answer is z squared. Then rewrite it as our final answer. 3 times x to the 5th times 1 times 1, the answer is 3x to the 5th power all over 5 times 1 times y times z squared. The answer is 5y z squared. So, this will be our final answer. And take note po na hindi nyo pwedeng pagpalitin ang nilalaman ng numerator at denominator. So, this will be our last example for the part 1. Stay tuned for the part 2 of this simplifying RAE. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the like button and the bell button. And thank you for watching.